Hello, and welcome to Childless Not By Choice. This podcast was created for and about the Childless Not By Choice community on a global level. Before we get started, I would like to thank my sponsors and supporters. Thank you, Morgan Air Conditioning, Sales, Service, and Installation, serving Tampa, Florida, and the surrounding areas. Morgan Air Conditioning can be reached by calling 813-500-7765. That's 813-500-7765. Or their web address is www.morganair.net. That's www.morganair.net. Along with a stellar business reputation in the Tampa, Florida area, Morgan Air Conditioning is also known and well received for giving back to the community, whether it is back-to-school drives or donating services to the less fortunate. Thank you, Morgan Air Conditioning, for recognizing the vision of Childless Not By Choice and being a part of it. Next, I would like to thank Alba Digital Media for creating my website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net. That's www.childlessnotbychoice.net, and for producing this podcast. Alba Digital Media's clients include those who need website building and maintenance, as well as those like myself who require professional podcast editing. Their client base reflects many industries and levels of needs for professional assistance. To contact Alba Digital Media for your web building and podcast production needs, visit www.albadigitalmedia.com. That's www.albadigitalmedia.com. Thank you, Alba Digital Media, for making me look good and sound good. Finally, I would like to thank Devoted, the musical duo who created my theme music. Thank you, Devoted, for your beautiful music. Devoted has had the opportunity to sing and play in many countries. To contact Devoted for your music needs, visit devotedministries@gmail.com. That's devotedministries@gmail.com. And if you would like to become a one-time or ongoing sponsor, or if you would like to become a patron of Childless Not By Choice, please contact me at Sevilla@SevillaMorgan.com. That's Sevilla@SevillaMorgan.com for details. Now, on to the show. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for visiting another episode of Childless Not By Choice. Thank you for listening. And thank you to my repeat listeners. And if you're listening for the first time, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I hope you will all come back for another visit. Remember to help me get the word out by telling your friends about the show. Feel free to share the episode to your social media followers. You can listen to the episode from the website or wherever you listen to podcasts. So feel free to click on that share button and help me spread the word that we can live this childless, not by choice life with joy and relevance. And speaking of that, as many of you know, my mission is to recognize and speak to the broken hearts of the childless, not by choice women and men around the world. I'm spreading the great news that we can live a joyful, relevant, and fulfilled life, although we did not have the children we so wanted. Well, as I continue on here, I'd like to thank my Patreon contributor, one Jordan Morgan, for making that monthly contribution to the platform. It is truly appreciated, and you are appreciated, Jordan. Thank you so very much. If you would like to become a patron via our Patreon site, please click the link in the show notes, patreon.com/Childless Not By Choice. And once you get there, you can make the decision as to how much you'd like to give. $1, $10, $20, $100, $1 million a month. I will take whatever you give me and I will turn it into fresh content and healing for the broken hearts of those of us who could not have children. So thanks again, Jordan Morgan, for seeing the vision and being a part of it. It is appreciated. Well, our Childless Not By Choice platform is transforming right before our eyes. I can hardly recognize the website anymore myself, and I'm loving every minute of it because it means growth. And that's what we are here for, growth, to create content, to create awareness. There are 7 billion people on this planet. And there is some great percentage of that 7 billion people who are childless not by choice, and some are suffering for it more than others. We have got to get the word out that if you are childless not by choice, make sure that both partners in the relationship have been checked and not blame everything on the woman. Yes, I'm going there. And also, if you find that it's no one knows why, the doctors don't know why, it's just the way it is, then please know that you're not a lesser person. It just means that not all of us are going to get the answers to our prayers, and our dreams will not be fulfilled the way we thought or expected them to be fulfilled or expected. But that's okay. We are here for a reason, and we've got to figure out what that reason is and then live our lives to the best of our ability, because we only get one. Whether we get the children or not, we only get one life. Whether your prayers are answered or not, you only get one life. Whether your dreams come true or not, you only get one life. We all get 24 hours. We all get 365 days. You get the picture. So, sitting on the sidelines and not being able to go forward or move forward because you have found out that you will not be carrying a child, it's just not going to work, because life goes on. And so I don't mean to be coy, but remember, I'm in the same boat as you. If you are childless not by choice and you're listening to this podcast, I didn't get to have the child either. I only wanted one. I always envisioned a little boy, always. I have a name. And I'm thinking about doing a future episode where we discuss the names that we had for the children that we thought we would have. I know some of you might think it's a little morbid, but hey, it is what it is. It's been a discussion in the group, and I thought it was a great idea. So I'm looking at that for a future episode. But yes, I did have a name for the little boy I thought I would have. And so, it's that difficult. It's not something you just get over it, or why can't you be happy, or what are you crying for now? It's, it's grief. That's what happens when people grieve. They cry, they get sad, they try, and it's circuitous. It's not a straight line, grief. It'll take you on a roller coaster ride. And so I always say that if you need professional assistance, please do obtain it. Don't try to go this on your own, especially if you do not have family that can surround you. And even if they don't fully understand, they can try. Some of us don't have that kind of support. I fortunately did. And even so, I still had to go and see someone, because I just felt like, although my family loved me, they just didn't get it. There are some of you who your family is like, you need to just get over it. And that's not the best way to support somebody who's grieving. So if you need professional help, please go and see a professional. And also know that I am available for one-on-ones. Just go to the website and sign up for the one-on-ones. I am available. I am not a clinician, so I will not speak to you from that place or that space. I will speak to you from the space and the place of having the experience, and in many cases, very similar experiences to yours. Having the fibroids, waiting for Mr. Right to show up, trying to decide if I should have go through the IVF process or the adoption process, actually trying to adopt twice and being turned down, and, just trying to buy time, having accidents, having multiple surgeries, myomectomies. One of those myomectomies was a robot surgery that was supposed to be, quote unquote, less invasive. And turned out after 4 hours to amount to nothing. So trust me when I tell you that this peppy voice, this laid back voice belongs to somebody who's been through the valley of the shadow of death. And I'm telling you that if I can sit here and be talking to you, I have my moments. I definitely have my moments. It's a grieving process. I just said it's circuitous. So it's not a straight line. You don't come out of it one day and realize that, I'm done grieving. I'm finished. It's over. No, we're suffering a loss, the loss of the ability to have a child. And so I'm right there with you. I've been through it. And so I just made the decision, though, that I don't want to live a life of depression and sadness, even on the days when it may come to visit. They may come to visit. They are not allowed to stay. So I recognize them when they come to visit, but they're not allowed to stay. And that's the difference. And so, kind of off on a tangent because this is so not what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about the new platform. But I want to give somebody out there a word of encouragement. Please hang in there and know that you are not the only one going through this. I have a group of women on Facebook, almost 300 now, and I'm trying to get everybody headed over to our new platform, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. We have on the website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net. That's www.childlessnotbychoice.net. We have our own community now. I almost want to call it a platform, but it's a community. It's a community because when you enter, you can go into so many different places, so many different quote unquote rooms, so many forums, and so many groups. We're creating groups and creating content day and night. Yes, that's all I'm doing is writing and editing and writing some more. So you can help because when you come into the group and you start responding to the forums, you start to create content as well. So if you are a childless not by choice woman, I'm welcoming you and asking you, inviting you into the forum, into the community, I should say. And we are working on something for men, definitely working on something for men. I have a lot of ideas in mind. I cannot run a men's group because I'm not a man. I'm not going to pretend to understand how men feel. I want to set it up properly, have the proper foundation, have the correct or the right person helping with that aspect of things. So I am working on things. There are a lot of background things happening and taking place in 2018 for this entire platform. And so there's a lot of work going on, but this is my mission. It's my mission to get the word out globally that there is an entire demographic that exists in plain sight, the childless not by choice demographic. And so all of this is just a part of it. This new platform that we, I want to say platform all the time, this new community that we have created and continue to create. There is so much headroom in this community for us to add more conversation, more groups, more resources. So it's just a lot going on, but I am just really excited about everything that's going on. So the first thing I want to tell you about is the website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net. When you go to the website, if you were there before the changes, if you go there now, you're going to be like, what in the world? Because it just looks more like a news magazine now. There's so much going on. So you'll see some familiar aspects to the website, and I'm going through it as we speak. So yes, I am scrolling through the website, but there are some familiar things, and then there are other things that you just wonder, is this the same site? It is childlessnotbychoice.net. So we created the front to look like a magazine cover with a lot going on, a lot of information. And what you see on the website is basically an invitation to come in for more, because there are a lot of things you will not be able to see from the front end unless you are a member, unless you join in by logging in with your Facebook credentials or creating a login ID and password. So sticking to the front page for just a moment, when you look at the front page, you will notice that there are 2 levels of clickable links. On the top level, there's Home, Hannah, Podcast, Reflections, Resources, Courses, Shop, About, and then My Profile. And My Profile may be removed sometime soon because that has to do with the courses, which would obviously sound like a redundancy since I already mentioned courses, but that's a technical issue that we're working with right now. At any rate, those links that I just mentioned are links that will take you to the actual website, the website as you knew it before. Well, the links below that, activity, members, groups, our forum, events, and login or log out, those links are what you use when you're in the platform once you are a member and you've signed up and been accepted into the group, because there's going to be a little bit of a lag time because you're not immediately into the group right now until I go in and add you in, or my webmaster will add you in if I'm not around. So give us a little time, because there are, like anything else in life, there are some growing pains, and there are people who are attempting to join who are not supposed to. So we're working on all types of things on the back end. And so just bear in mind that there may be a little bit of lag time when you request to join and when we get you in. It shouldn't be any more than 24 hours, really. But just be patient with us with that lag time, because we want this group to be set up for women only. This is a Childless Not By Choice community for women only. And as I said before, I am working on the men's portion, but I've got to get this set up first. So that's how the front page looks. As you scroll down the front page, the top of the page, below the links, you'll see featured news, featured blog posts. And so that's always going to be changing depending on when a new blog comes out. As many of you know, a new blog is posted on the 20th of every month, right around the 20th of every month. So we have a new blog coming out on February 20th. So you're going to see featured images and when you click on those pictures, they are clickable, and they will take you to a blog post, or something where I'm just giving you an update or something like that. Just click on the pictures, it'll take you somewhere. As you scroll down, you'll see my picture to the left. Yay, that's me. In the middle, you'll see the clickable pictures for guest blogs, because all of the women on the platform have been invited to become guest bloggers here. And so you'll see the guest blog posts. Those are blogs written by women who belong to the group, to the Childless Not By Choice group. And on the right, there's a welcome message, and we may change the messages from time to time. As you scroll down some more, you'll see to the left below my picture, you'll see the latest podcast episode. And in the middle, you'll see the names of the groups that we currently have set up. Right now, there are 5 groups. There's the lounge, which I encourage everyone to go to first, because in the lounge, you can introduce yourself, read the group terms and conditions, and just, get to know everyone in there. There's also a health and wellness group. There is a group for people who are adopting, Childless Not By Choice, people who are or have adopted. There's a group for those of us who are childless not by choice. Some of you are childless not by choice, but married a man with children. So there's a group for step parenting. And then there's a group for suggested reading. The books in suggested reading are going to be books about the Childless Not By Choice experience, only books on that subject matter. And I already have someone who is managing that group. And of course, I have 2 admins. So there are a couple of people who are helping out on the platform already, and I really appreciate them, and they know that. And then if you look to the right of the groups, you'll see that if you have not already subscribed to the newsletter, there's your opportunity. Newsletter subscription. You know, these things can change and move around, but that's just how it looks right now. And then below the newsletter subscription, you'll see the categories of different clickable links of more information, more things that you can go to. There's extra audio, featured news, guest blogs, the podcast episodes, reflections, which are the blogs, resources, which are, for the most part, PDFs that you can download. I created them for free. You can load them. And then there are a couple of videos. So just click on the links and just explore the front page. And down the middle there is a video of me in my office. So that's how it looks right now. To the left of that video, you'll see that I got some podcast reviews. So if you would like to leave a podcast review, please feel free to do so. I love reviews. You may go to Apple Podcast to leave a review. You can also email me, Sevilla@SevillaMorgan.com, to leave a review. However, you would like to do that. You may also leave reviews. If you go to the podcast link at the top, and listen to a podcast, you may leave reviews. So many different ways to do the same thing, and just doing things to make it simple and easy for you, whether you're visiting for the first time or you are a regular visitor. So that's the home screen. And as I mentioned, when you click login, which is on the second level of clickable links, you will have the opportunity to do so with your Facebook credentials. We had to go through a lot of steps, so don't be afraid to use your Facebook credentials on this platform. Facebook made us do a lot to be able to allow people to log in with their Facebook credentials. And so they probably even have my blood type. Who knows? It was just a lot to go through. So again, don't be afraid to use your Facebook credentials to log in. If you don't want to, you also have the opportunity to create a user ID and password and log in that way. Whichever way you like, totally up to you. So as I mentioned before, once you're in, visit the lounge first. Go in, introduce yourself, read the terms and conditions, the group bylaws, see what the conversation of the moment is, and then feel free to go to the other rooms, the rooms that I just mentioned. If there's one of interest to you, if there's a room, or if there's a group or a forum that you think should be created, let me know. And if I think if it's a good fit, I will add it. But definitely, let me know what you think. Like I said, there's a lot of headroom here in this community for us to add more things. Just keeping in mind that the foundation and the basis for this platform and this community will always be for and about the woman who will never have a child, because there are many of us. I know that some women are still TTC, trying to conceive. There are some, going through IVF treatments, infertility treatments, and that's fine. As long as you're childless, not by choice, you're welcome. But keep in mind that I set up the separate groups for a reason. If you are a woman who will not be able to adopt, I'm not saying do not go into these rooms, that you're not allowed. That's not what I'm saying. But just know that if you can't adopt, you've tried everything, you're not going to have the child, going into the adoption room may create more frown lines for you. Let me put it that way. So that's why there are these different rooms, so that you can go into the room that best fits your needs. That's why these rooms have been created, and these forums were created for conversation. So it was tough on the Facebook group to have all of those different conversations going on. Some women felt, like we say here in America, some type of way, because they had to see certain posts. And now with the platform, the community set up the way it is, you don't necessarily have to see certain posts. And because, as I always say, we are all in different places in the grieving process. So that's why this was set up, and it's set up for you. So I really hope you'll come on in and join the conversation. The platform, as I said, will always be first and foremost for the woman who will never have a child. But I recognize that there are different nuances to Childless Not By Choice. For instance, there's a forum in there that was created based on a suggestion from a woman in the Childless Not By Choice with Civilla Morgan Facebook group, because there are so many people who are only children and they're childless. And I never really thought about that. I mean, I even have friends who are only children and childless, and it never occurred to me. It just didn't. And, speaking of that, there are people who have children who it never occurred to them that there is a whole demographic, a whole group of women who are in pain and can't even show it, because then we seem to be hateful. And we exist, and they never really thought about it because they have children, and they just assume that either you didn't want any or it wasn't a big deal for you. A lot of people assume that. They don't realize that there's like a whole group of people who are grieving. And so here I go on a tangent again, but that's why this whole platform was created. This is why it's my passion to create awareness and create conversation, because we've got to get the word out, because I believe that when we do, more people will come to realization that a lot more people will be thankful for the children that they do have, and just kind of look at things in a different way, in a different light. So I'm saying that because there are different nuances to this Childless Not By Choice. And so that's why we have the different rooms and the different forums. So as we finish up here, down the line this year, hopefully, I'm looking at human type resources. You see that I have a resources tab there, and it's a list of PDFs that I created to help you navigate whatever it is that you may be dealing with, whether it's fibroids or miscarriage or PCOS or dealing with family on the holidays. There are PDFs there, and I'm creating PDFs all the time. I'm working on 2 of them right now, but I also want to create human resources, and I've already been in discussion with a handful of people that I want to bring onto the site and collaborate. So collaboration is coming. So just keep that in mind. I'm just really building this whole thing out, and it takes time. There will eventually also be a paid member section in the community. And so that section is, it's being thought about, still in my brain. I have notes on it, and working on pricing and all of that good stuff. And so, just keep that in mind as 2018 progresses. Stay here in the community so you are aware. I will not close the Facebook groups, at least not the Childless Not By Choice with Civilla Morgan group, or the Childless Not By Choice supporters with Civilla Morgan group. Those 2 groups I do not foresee closing. There are other groups that I mentioned earlier that may eventually close. I'm not sure. There are people who are interested in them who are not Childless Not By Choice. So we'll see how things go. But the focal point is going to be this community. I really want everyone to come on over and just take advantage of the amount of space that we have here to get the discussion and the awareness and the conversation going. And the courses, there will be more courses. There will be just so much more interaction that I just can't wait for you to come on over. So I just wanted to take this time to really go through the website with you and make it make more sense. And maybe you can go through it as you listen to this episode, and that will help it make more sense as well. So Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. My contact information is in the show notes as usual. Please visit the show notes. There's all kinds of information there. Sometimes I drop links on news stories in there, and I've dropped a couple of links, news story links on childlessness and just the silly things that happen around the world and the sad things that happen. So just news stories to keep us engaged with what's going on around the world in the Childless Not By Choice community. So please do check out the show notes when you're listening to the podcast episodes, but definitely check out the show notes this time because I will have a list of everything we just went over. So check it out. And thanks again for listening. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for the reviews. I hope I didn't miss any this time around. Thank you for telling your friends. I know a lot of you tell your friends and you brought friends in, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that trust. And I'm trying and continuing to do my best to keep the platforms and the community as safe as possible. And so that's why I have to make sure of who I'm allowing in. If you find any content in there once you're in there or on the Facebook group that you think is inappropriate, please let me know as soon as you can. Just let me know directly. Direct message me on Facebook and let me know. And, I'll take care of it because I really want us to feel like we have a place to belong, to go to when we're feeling down. And just realize and recognize that we're not an island unto ourselves and that we're not the only ones going through and dealing with this, the grieving process of being childless not by choice. So thanks again for listening. I appreciate it. And until next time, bye.